Homework day 7, it's still in the mathematic foundation, solving for unknowns. So it's going to get into some algebra. They assume maybe you've had a little bit of algebra, but maybe it's been a really long time since you've had algebra. So some things you need to know. First of all, if there's not a sign in there, 9y means 9 times y. So when I want to solve my equation, I'm saying 9 times what number is 72? Well, most of you probably know 9 times what number is 72. But what they want to get across when you're solving is that you have to do the opposite to solve it. If I want to get the y by itself, since this is times, I do the opposite, so I divide. 9 divided by 9 would make that 1y, or just y. 72 divided by 9 is 8. You know that 9 times 8 is 72, and that's going to be your answer. The next one there is pretty straightforward. Again, it says x plus 19 equals 31. What number plus 19 is 31? Again, you probably could figure it out without really knowing how to do algebra, but since we have to get to some harder stuff, we need to know the rules. In order to get the x by itself, you have to do the opposite of adding 19. The opposite of adding is going to be subtracting. So I'm going to subtract 19 from both sides. And 19 minus 19 would make that 0. X plus 0 is just x then, and you get the x by itself. So over on this other side, we have to take 31 minus 19 then. 9, 10, 11, we get 12. So you always try to do the opposite when you're trying to get the variable by itself. On the third one, if I have x over 7 equals 8, x over 7 means x divided by 7. So if I'm showing x divided by 7, we have to do the opposite of dividing. The opposite of dividing is multiplying by 7. What number divided by 7 is 8? Well, these are going to cancel each other out, and 7 times 8 is going to be 56. We know that 56 divided by 7 is going to end up being 8. And so if it shows multiplying, you're going to divide. If it shows adding, you're going to subtract. If it shows dividing, you're going to multiply. We didn't have one with a subtraction, but if it has a subtraction, you're going to add. So that when you get down to number 4, you're going to get some longer algebra problems to do. If I want to solve that for x, if I want to solve this for x, I want to get the x by itself. So the first thing I need to do is move the adding or subtracting over. In this case, we have subtracting. If I want to move that to the other side, we do the opposite of subtracting, which is adding 12. So 3x is going to equal 36 plus 12, which is 48. Then again, we have to get the x by itself. 3x means 3 times x. To get rid of that number in front, then I do the opposite of multiplying, which is dividing by 3. X is going to equal 48 divided by 3. 3 goes into 4 one time. I have 18 left over. 3 goes into 18 6 times. So 16 times 3 is 48. And then if I wanted to check that out, I would say, is 3 times 16 minus 12 equal to 36? 3 times 16 is 48, and 48 minus 12, sure enough, is 36. Not that you have to check it, but if you wanted to check it.